the best dividend stocks in the Kenyan stock market this year. Well, are you looking for the best dividend stocks to invest in the Kenyan stock market? Well, this is the right video for you. Stick around because we are going to be looking at dividend stocks, companies that have already issued or given dividends to their investors this year. We're going to look at it in two different ways: companies that have already issued the dividends and paid out, and companies that are yet to pay out the dividends, so that you can take advantage of this opportunity. Well, hello there. Welcome to this channel where we cover topics such as making money and making that money work for you. And in today's video, we're going to look at one such way whereby you can make your money work for you by owning dividend stocks. Now, if that sounds like something you are interested in, then buckle up and we will get into this video. The first thing that you have to know is, what is a dividend stock? In simple terms, a dividend stock is simply a company that is listed on the stock market that you as an investor can purchase or own, and at the end of the financial year, the company can choose to share part of its profits with you, the investor. Now, instead of having to build your own company from the ground up, you can own part of a company by investing in companies listed in the stock market. Now, let's get started. Which companies are these that are sharing part of their profits with investors? We are going to look at first the companies that have already paid out the dividends. Then later on, we will look at companies that are yet to pay out but have already announced that they will be giving out these dividends. And just to see how much you can get, I am going to share how much you will earn if you own 100,000 shares of these companies. Does that sound like something interesting? Something that you are interested in? Well, if it is, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not. And towards the end of the video, I am going to share some very devastating news for some investors. So stick around to find out if you are one of the investors that are affected by this devastating news. Okay, let's get started. Starting us off, we are going to start with companies that have already paid out their dividends, and on this list we have 4 companies that have paid out their dividends so far this year. Yes, and we are only 3 months into the new year. So which companies are these? Starting us off, we have Umeme, which is a company listed in the energy sector. Now, Umeme is the Ugandan version of our very own KPLC, but for this company, it paid out 24 Ugandan shillings to its investors. That was in Feb. That is the last day of Feb, which is 29. Now, if you had 100,000 shares of Umeme, you would have received 89,000, give or take, of 89,000 Kenyan shillings. Now, our second company that has already paid out its dividends this year is KenGen, which is another company listed in the energy sector. Now, KenGen paid 0.3 shillings per share. That was in Feb last month as well, date 15. Now, if you had 100,000 shares of KenGen, you would have received 30,000 Kenyan shillings. Yes, you've heard that right. That company on this list is none other than our very loved, very well-known company, that is Safaricom, which is listed under the telecommunications sector right here in Kenya. Now, on 31st March, this company will pay its investors 0.55 shillings per share. However, note that this is a drop from 0.58 shillings per share last year. This is a 5% drop. Now, if you owned 100,000 shares of Safaricom, you would be receiving 55,000 Kenyan shillings on 31st March this year. Now, the last company on this list is a company that is paying its investors dividends today, and the company is none other than Sasini. Now, Sasini is a company that is listed in the agricultural sector in Kenya, right here in the Kenyan stock market. Sasini is paying its investors a final dividend of 0.50 shillings per share. That means if you owned 100,000 shares of Sasini on the book closure date, you would be receiving 50,000 Kenyan shillings today. Now, let me know, are you interested in learning about investing in shares in Kenya? Yes, if you are interested in learning about investing in shares in Kenya, check the description box below, where we have attached a whole course on the topic, and yeah, check it out. Okay, there we have it, the 4 companies in the Kenyan stock market that have already paid dividends this year: Kengen, Umeme, Safaricom, and today Sasini. Let me know, do you have any questions about investing in dividend stocks in Kenya? Let me know. Let's go to the second part of this video, whereby we will be looking at companies that have already announced that they are issuing dividends this year but have not yet paid out, or in other terms, the book closure date has not been reached, giving you time to invest. And this is the time whereby I remind you that you should never invest in anything unless you have done your due diligence. This video is for information purposes only, so that you can be on the know-how. So remember that, do your own research first before investing in anything that you hear about online. Okay, now let's go to the second part of this video, whereby we will be looking at companies that have not yet paid, or the book closure date has not been reached. So starting us off is none other than Standard Chartered Bank, which is a company that is listed in the banking sector of the Kenyan stock market. Now, Standard Chartered Bank issued a final dividend of 23 shillings per share. When is Standard Chartered Bank paying its investors? Well, it will be paying on 30th May this year, so be on the lookout for Standard Chartered Bank shares. And the book closure is on 19th April this year as well. The second company on our list is none other than Stanbic, which issued a final dividend of 14.20. I almost forgot. If you own 100,000 shares of Standard Chartered Bank, you will be receiving 2.3 million shillings. Yes, 2.3 million shillings on the payment date. Let's go back to our second stock or share on this list, which is none other than Stanbic. Stanbic will be paying a final dividend of 14.20 shillings per share. And when is this? Well, the date is subject to be approved. That means the company has not yet decided when it will be paying its investors, but the book closure date is on 17th May this year. Let's go to the fun part. If you own 100,000 shares of Stanbic, how much do you stand to get? Well, you stand to get 1.42 million shillings of Kenyan shillings this year. Now, the third company on our list is none other than BAT. BAT issued a final dividend of 45 shillings per share, and this is set to be paid out on 26th June 2024. That is this year. When is the book closure date? Well, the book closure date is on 24th May the same year. Now, BAT, in which sector is it listed? Well, BAT is listed in the manufacturing and allied sector. How much do you stand to get if you own 100,000 shares of BAT? Well, you stand to get 4.5 million. And remember that this is before tax. Yes, you stand to get 4.5 million in passive income if you own 100,000 shares of BAT by the book closure date. Now, on to the fourth company that has already announced that it will be issuing dividends to its shareholders this year. The fourth company is none other than EABL, which is also in the manufacturing sector. Now, EABL will be giving an interim dividend of 1 shilling per share. Yes, and this will be paid out on 26th April of this year. When is the book closure date? Well, the book closure date was in 16th Feb this year. And how much do you stand to earn if you owned 100,000 shares of EABL? Well, you stand to get 100,000 Kenyan shillings. Now, let me know, do you have any questions about investing in dividend stocks? Let me know in the comments section below. Now, I'd like to share with you that in April we are going to have a financial literacy boot camp. Yes, whereby we will be one of the topics that we will be discussing is investing in dividend stocks for beginners. So if all of this talk is interesting to you but you do not get what we are talking about, well, this is the bootcamp for you. So sign up. The link will be attached in the description box below and also in the first comment. So if you are interested in becoming a dividend stock investor, this is the bootcamp for you. So register today, and let's go back to the video whereby we will be looking at our last 3 companies that have already announced that they will be giving dividends to their shareholders but have not yet paid out these dividends in the Kenyan stock market. Now, number 5 is none other than Sasini, which we spoke about in the first section of this video. Now, Sasini will be paying its shareholders today, that is a dividend of 0.50 shillings per share. And we saw that Sasini is in the agricultural sector, and if you own 100,000 shares of Sasini, you stand to get 50,000 Kenyan shillings this year. And remember, this is passive income. This is not income that you have to do the work throughout. You just have to do research on these companies and choose the companies to invest in and let your money work for you. As I have stated, if you are interested in learning about dividend stock investing, sign up for the financial literacy bootcamp day 2 or 3. We will be discussing dividend stock investing for beginners. I'd love to see you there. Now, the sixth company is none other than Absa. Now, Absa is listed in the banking sector. If you have noticed, one of the popular sectors in this list is none other than the banking sector. Why? Because it is a very popular sector right here in Kenya, where most of these companies give dividends. There's a tip for you. Back to Absa. Absa issued a final dividend of 1.35 shillings per share. And when is Absa going to pay its shareholders? Well, Absa will be giving its shareholders this dividend of 1.35 on 23rd May of this year. When is the book closure date? The book closure date is on 30th April 2024. Now, if you own 100,000 shares of Absa, how much do you stand to get? Well, you stand to get 135,000 Kenyan shillings. Yes, consider that. Now, the last company on this list is none other than Kakuzi. Kakuzi is also a company listed in the agricultural sector, whereby Kakuzi announced the day before today, I believe, that it will be giving its shareholders a dividend of 24 shillings. Yes, 24 shillings per share. And this is the first and final dividend by this company. Now, if you own 100,000 shares of Kakuzi by the book closure date, which is 31st May this year, you will receive 2.4 million. Yes, 2.4 million on 15th June of this year. We have come to the end of this video, but before that, as promised, here is your pinch of disappointing news. Now, the disappointing news is that shareholders of KCB won't be receiving their dividends. This is the first time in 21 years. Yes, the first time in 21 years where KCB won't be issuing dividends to its shareholders. Why? This is attributed to its decrease. It's 8.3% decrease in net profit, that is from 40.83 billion in 2022 to 37.4 billion in the year ended 2023. Therefore, the board of directors decided not to recommend dividends. Why? So as to preserve the company's capital. This is to show you that companies do not have to issue dividends. Yes, they do not have to. They are not mandated to do so. They can decide whether to issue dividends or not. So as an investor, this is something to keep in mind. Now, that is it for this week's video. Let me know, was this video helpful, and what would you like to see from this channel? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to read your comments. And a bonus I will be sharing the best comment in next week's video, which is the best savings apps in Kenya. So stick around for that. And if you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Subscribe, hit that subscribe button and share this video with other people so that we can learn about how we can make our money work for us. Once again, sign up for the financial literacy bootcamp, which will be happening in April, where we will be discussing dividend stock investing for beginners. I'd love to see you there. In the meantime, you can watch any of these 2 videos that YouTube recommends that you should watch. Until next time, have a great day, a great week, a great night. Oh, bye bye now.